Look at these pieces of shit. They look beautiful. And they're American made. And that's the main purpose. When I review, if I'm going to review a shit product, that is the first and foremost thing I'm going to say. Because I'm a big fan of made in America stuff. PSAs, this, the PSAs. And the fact that you can get these two things for the prices you can is ridiculous. Who's talking to me? Oh, he's got a cold. Anyway, what we have here are the Modi 2 and the Magni 2, the DAC and headphone amp. They, again, made in America. They are entirely, I don't know if this is stainless steel. Can't quite judge that. I don't want to confuse the plugs because for some reason they didn't make them the same voltage. When you pick one of these up, the first thing you're going to notice. What the fuck is that, is what you're going to say. And it's this button. It's just sort of like... And you're like, oh, thank God. Because I thought something got damaged in transport because someone lent these to me. So you look at it, metal, steel bottom, nice. I think it's aluminum. Is it aluminum? I've got a magnet and test. Sharp-ass corners. And these are not the same sharp-ass corners as in the review of the Oppo, where like, oh, they design. No. These are sharp-ass corners because America. So Americans don't need rounded corners or finishing work. You're going to cut yourself in your DAC because you're stupid. Why do you think I have a fan with no cover on it? Because I've got to teach our children to stop being stupid. All right. The Schiit Modi 2 Uber. Left and right, RCA outs, coaxial in, fiber optic in, USB in, power switch. Oddly enough, the button on the Sanskrit rattles too. RCA out, coaxial in, fiber optic in, USB in. And oh, by the way, this is the power button if you hold it down. And this actively has a switch. So these are essentially the exact same thing. And from what I can hear, because that's all I have to test, I'm not going to whip out an oscilloscope. My friend, my techie friend, who's real techie, like can rebuild every circuit. He wants to build his own video card type techie. He's like, get an oscilloscope so you can really test. And I know if I got that, I get so aspy, I don't want to think about it. I can't hear a difference between these two. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It doesn't mean one's worse than the other. What I'll tell you, though, is this one's made in China and this one's made in America. So now you have to choose just from that. So let's put this over there because I do love this. And this is the Patreon drawing I did the other day, and I'll have the name picked out, and I'm going to announce that. This video is going to probably be weeks after that, but that's already gone from my life. And this will be gone from my life too because it's borrowed. Exact same functionality. Turn it on, plug in your sources, mode switch. Mode switch. DAC out, DAC out. This runs on a 9-volt DC, and this runs on, which one is it? Oh, it just says it on the back, never mind. This runs on the 16-volt AC. All of shit gear runs on AC. I don't understand why. I don't know what benefit that has, but it's the only company that consistently runs AC power. Here's their Magni 2 headphone amp, 14-volt AC. I know that because I keep almost confusing them because they're the same plugs, and I don't know why they didn't just design one of these to use this. Just the same voltage would make this so much simpler. So you couldn't. It's just one of the shit plugs. Here are the pissed cables, by the way, the PYST cables. Thank you, phone. I'll get to these in a second and what I was planning on doing or may still do. So here's the Magni 2, again, sharp. Like here, you want me to score the glass shelf here and just snap it? I probably can. So no sharp edges because China, and sharp edges because America. Fucking America, man. Sharp edges are what we need. Everything's a weapon. Now the back of this is interesting. It has the ins, the high-low gain, a set of outs. A set of outs. And then the power on-off switch. Now, you know, I never did test to see if these outs are variable. But it has passed through outs. And I'm hoping they're not variable. And I will annotate right here. Look, I'm giving myself more work in the future. This is a shitty feeling. But what this should be for is DAC to headphone amp to speaker amp with no splitters involved. It'll just be PIST cables across, and then another set of PIST cables or another longer set of cables to amp, and then you've got like speaker amp. God, there's so many fingerprints on this. And that's it. That's the fact that those are there is really nice. I mean, my EO9K basically has that exact same functionality with the line outs, and it has pre-outs, so that you could use this to control like powered monitors. But then it's the same issue that you have to unplug your headphones because it'll be powering your headphones while you're doing this and adjusting this, and so yeah, no. Call that the black stack and call this the shit stack. Now it's only a shit stack if you actually stack them. And frankly, these both get pretty warm. I would not stack these. In fact, the PIST cables, when you hook them up in a stack configuration, are pretty much the most awkward, terrible things in the world. There you go. That's sheer weight holding that from messing up. So I don't recommend the shit stack. I like a nice thin shit spread. So you take these and you do like, come on. Yeah, look at that. Then the PIST cables make sense. Oh God, phone. Chicken liver, go away. Try that. So I recommend a nice shit spread like this, because then the PIST cables make sense, because they do not need to be that long. I was working on the idea of bridges. I bought a bunch. Oh, screw it. Screw it, this is a Zeos review. I'm allowed to get up and walk around. Cat, purple bed. Cat, purple bed. Here. And I bought the cheapos. Because if I'm going to do testing, I'm not going to do it on $4 a piece interconnects. And my goal, at some point, because everyone makes headphone cables and I make speaker cables and stuff, would be to just do this. Bam. That. The bridge is what they should sell. They should sell the shit stack bridge. And this would just be a matter of connect. I could put a rod in the middle of that and then solder this and then wrap it, and then that would be just, you pull out a bridge. That would be so much nicer for a shit stack than these PIST cables. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Now I've set it on video, which forces me to work on it. Should we talk about these and how they actually work? All right, I've already said the Modi 2. DACs are, again, hard to review. These are equivalent. They sound really clean. There's nothing better or worse about either one, except one's made in America, one's made in China. One's long, one's wide. One uses AC power, one uses DC power. Irrelevant. Magni 2. This is where things can go on or off or weird. I reviewed the original shit stack with the Magni 1. The Magni 2 is a great improvement over that. Simply for having a high-low switch. It's a great improvement. And then you add these pass-throughs, and it's even better. I'm sorry, that was a power switch. There's the high-low. Made in USA. It does get warm. It gets a little bit toasty. But that's fine. Toasty warm is what you're after. Because it's able to push every headphone I own to destruction. Now, to be a man of my word, I'm a man of my word. Let me plug in everything that I test. So here's the 16 volt. And the 16 volt goes to the DAC. And let's plug it in with the long ass USB cable. And I haven't actually plugged it into this wire, so I'm not sure what's going to happen right now. It could just explode. And this is obviously the other for the amp. I hate wall warts. I hate these fucking things. Companies need to just figure out how to avoid transformers. Well, I think I read something about laptops are going to soon have their advanced transformer technology to make it so small that you're going to be able to plug your laptop directly into a wall with no power brick. So hopefully that tech comes around. So this whole thing could be in here, and then I could just plug in 110, a little thin wire. We've got power on this. Do we have power? Oh, yeah, we do. And power on this. Let's hear it for white LEDs, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a racist statement. That's a it's not blue and I'm happy statement. Although red would have also been approved of. Speakers, USB Daddy, MODI device. Properties. Let's call it Schiit spread. Because I'm in the wrong configuration. I haven't hooked it up yet. I haven't wired it yet. So I want to call it the Schiit spread. Levels 100, enhancements, disable all enhancements. Always go into Windows. And even though none of these are checked, always click disable all enhancements because there's something that still fucks with it. Quality, let's see what mode. 32-bit, 192, crazy. Now, unlike this doesn't support DSD, and that's fine with me because I'm not a big like, oh my god, I need to have everything in DSD now that it's the greatest format. I haven't gotten there yet, all right? Maybe 5 more years when my ears are some sort of bionic hybrid and I could hear everything, then I'll give a shit about that. But, so you need drivers to have this work and you don't need it for this. So that's 1 point for this. Were those stupid pissed cables. Oh god, no, reflections! Ah, vampire! Okay, no. Where's my in? Left in. Left in. Right in. Right in. How far would that reach? Bam. And obviously, you would put this under a glass shelf like that. Oh yeah, look at the sexiness of that. And then when you want to put your keyboard away, you're just sort of like, what? Adapter from a Mad Dogs. Tixati is now available. Excellent. I'll deal with that later. Am I in high or low gain? That's less annoying. I'm in low gain. Which, let's, alright, well no, low gain's fine. The actual picture is like a USB slot or a SPDIF enter or a circle. It's very cool. They haven't screwed around with it too much. Of course, there's no playback device because I've disconnected all my playback devices. Output. We're going to Wasapi event straight to the Schiit spread. If I can click properly. We're going to set it to 24-bit. Actually, no, we're going to set it to 32-bit because we fucking can. And we're going to put on some basement jacks. Basement jacks. I liked like 3 basement jack songs in my entire life, or I've heard them and I like them. And so I legally purchased somehow the entire discography from the interweb. And every song is amazing. I mean, there's like 9 remixes of a bunch of songs, which is why there's so fucking many. But there are some songs on the Basement Jacks discography that are just amazing. Okay, invalid argument. Why? Something no make it go. Let me take it out of 32-bit. Maybe that's freaking it out. These are those live problems that no one else will get because they'll edit. Okay, let's try outputting push instead of event. Usually you want event. Let's try push. All right. Oh my God. All right, that's low gain. I was near full volume and it was very loud. Convenience. But that's high gain now. This is the Boost Sling a dub of Jump and Shout from Basement Jacks, by the way. Where's Hip Hop Hooray? Hip Hop Hooray is a song that I took to the Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. And I don't remember if I told anyone to play it, but it was on my disc. So, Shit Spread now is at 11 o'clock, and those are loud. And those are hard to drive. Or one of my harder to drive headphones. Or my hardest to drive headphone. So, pop the Shit Spread down there. We're organizing. Oh, yeah. How does it sound? Clean. I have no issues with sound quality. Getting some comments on my first mod review, like, this isn't even a review. And it's like, it's a headphone amp. If it's good, there'll be nothing to complain about. It's a DAC. If it's good, there'll be nothing to complain about. I try to avoid watching other people's reviews because they make me mad. They remind me why I do my reviews and why I do them the way I do because, I don't know, I'm allergic to bullshit. I'm not going to bullshit you. These sound amazing and they're made in America. Those are 2 reasons to get them. There's 10 options. Here's a whole other, are you ready? Here's another option you can get. And it'll sound amazing. And it won't be made in America. So, what do you want? This would be 104 plus 110. And these, let me just double check the actual today's prices of the shit products because they do change almost never actually. There, look. Look at that stack. And I can tell you exactly what headphones it was using in that picture because those are the Audi's cables. Yeah, Magni 2, $99. So cheaper than the EO9K. So if I had to tell you to buy one right this second, America. And the Modi 2 says $99, but this is the Uber. So the Uber costs a bit more. Where's my Uber choices? Uber is $150. So you're talking about a slight price increase. It's actually cheaper for the Magni 2, but a slight price increase to go with the Uber with all the different connections because the non-Ubered Modi 2 just has, what was the non-Uber one? It just has USB. So if you want all the options, and you know, really think about it for a second. Do you need coaxial and fiber? Do you need it for $50 more? Because frankly, unless you're running a Chromecast into it, or unless you're running a game console into it, unless you're running more than your computer into it, really is what it comes down to. If you're running, I'm buying this for my computer, USB is enough. $100 is enough. This is actually cheaper and made in America than this, and they sound equally as good. But if you're gonna, you know, be kind of awesome to have this setup for console games, or if you're running it straight out of your if you just have a TV and you've got, you know, a tuner card and you run a fiber optic out of your TV into this, you can watch TV in retardo headphone quality. So that's it. That's why you'd go with the Uber over the non-Uber. And it's cheap. They're cheap. The Yggdrasil DAC is not cheap. That son of a bitch is $2,300. I even know what it's got. Why? Why is it so much? My rant on DACs and DACs are only as good as the numbers. I'd have to really, I would love to blind test a $2,300 DAC versus this $100 DAC and see if anyone could tell the difference. And then if they can tell the difference, really get the oscilloscopes out and go fucking Northwest AV guy all over them. Figure out why. What are you hearing? What's different? Because, you know, they have 5 DACs in their lineup. The Madi 2, the Loki, the Bifrost, the Gungnir, that's a real bad one, and the Yggdrasil, which I only know how to say because of Rin, that anime with the weird tree rape. Lots of rape. But yeah, so no to that. The Madi 2 is good enough. I would have gone to the audio show and they would have been running Madi 2s on every setup. I would have been absolutely fine with that. Or the SMSL Sanskrits. Or the Auns. Or the goddamn, well, I don't know about the Micah thing just because of the, it would have been fine. You know, I'm not a big mythical, oh, DACs make so much difference. They do. When you go from no DAC or onboard above like Behringer, you get into like the $100 DACs, you get past the SMSL 793, you get into the $100 DAC range. That's pretty much all you need to be happy. I mean, I run my little ODAC back there to my receiver because I know that the DACs in my receiver are not the greatest because I can literally hear, I have that's playing, then I hit a button here and a button on the remote, and all of a sudden now my ODAC's playing on the same amp and it sounds better. So there is better DACs, but how much better do you fucking need? I'm absolutely happy with the Madi. I'm absolutely happy with the Sanskrit. Too bad. Take that. Take that, establishment. This is all you need. That fucking button. Oh god, I switched inputs. That fucking button, man. I don't know how they could fix that. Just tighten it up, put a piece of foam in there, because that's literally the only... And even if you did stack it, you could fit it under this glass shelf. Monoprice glass shelf, again, making a second appearance. Oh, wait. Oh, it won't fit. It'll just fit. Oh, God, heavy. Heavy glass shelf, Monoprice. I'll link that, too. Yeah, shit stack. Can't go wrong. How's that for a review? Put that in the little description blurb on the website. Zeos Pantera says, shit stack, you can't go wrong. And America should come with guns and tacos and pizza and advertisements every 3 seconds, because that's what America's about. So yeah, there's nothing bad to say about it. It works flawlessly. They get warm, but not too warm. The build quality is American. And that's a new term for me now, because this is like Chinese build quality. Oh, the edges are nice and rounded and it doesn't hurt to hold. And these have hurt to hold edges, but you know, you're sitting on your desk. Who cares? I don't want this review to go more than like 17 minutes, which is probably what it is right now. And that was a guess, so we'll see how close I am. I would love to hear their higher end stuff. The amp stuff. Yeah, I'd be interested in the amp stuff and their tube stuff for the amps. The DAC stuff, I know too much about how electronics work to really... I mean, I went to the Rocky Mountain Audio Fest and a man there had a $42,000 DAC. $42,000 for just the DAC. That, I think that was the DAC with the power brick that came with it, and then the other power brick, the pre-power brick, the power brick for the DAC. Come on, guys. If you own a $42,000 DAC and you're watching this video, number one, what the fuck is wrong with you? And number two, how did you find this video? You must be look for bricks to build your bathroom out of. Just build it out of $100 DACs, just $10,000 worth, because you have way too much money. I hope this video